My name is Brian Glick. Today we are looking at guard retention using a cross grip. So there are a number of different ways of retaining the guard. People have entire systems around doing this. As with most systems, if they get too complicated or too complex, when we try to implement them in live training, sometimes we get lost. There are just too many pathways. So we're going to use the cross grip because it's a grip that we use actively, but proactively for offense. You know, we're looking to get a cross grip with the gi because it's so threatening for the jiu-jitsu or cross choke. It also allows us to control our partner's posture. It sets up different sorts of sweeps and things like that. So we like this cross grip. It's often, in fact, when you're first getting started, one of the first grips you're taught, and one of the ways you're taught to open a randori or training session is by getting a strong cross grip, because it's always a threat. So using this cross grip method, what we find is that we can regulate distance a little bit, and we can do it in a way where we're not just kind of battling with our partner, pushing them or pulling them or trying to keep them at bay exclusively, but rather we're doing what we do with all good frames, which is we're keeping distance between ourselves and our partner, and then we're moving around that distance or inside of that distance in order to bring our guard back into play. So let's take a look at this from the bullfight or toreando pass situation. Our partner will come forward, and very often we're in a seated position, they're in a standing position, they'll reach inside and take our grips. The first thing that we want to do for this is, before we establish our cross grip, is to get rid of some of these grips, because sometimes you put your hands on your partner right away, and by the time they have their grips, you get your grips, they're already moving around and you feel like it's too late. So we like to start first by making sure that we're back a little bit. We're going to take a left hand, in this case, outside hand grip right on our partner's wrist. We're going to move our foot to the outside. We're going to push our leg or kick our leg away as we pull our partner's grip off here. Okay? And this works because we're drawing the hand to us at the same time we're extending the leg. You can do this off a cuff grip. Oftentimes, we prefer to get just by the wrist so that you don't have to worry about play in the cuff or in the gi. So we're going to do this strip, and then the second hand is going to go here up by our partner's collar. Okay? For this grip, you don't have to be super deep because you're not trying to strangle your partner. You're just trying to find your knuckles at home on your partner's collarbone, essentially. And this arm is going to be more or less a stiff arm. It's going to be a stiff, straight arm. The second hand, once it's done breaking this grip here, is going to go as a post hand behind us. Why do we have this hand? So that if our partner does drive into us here, we have some base behind us. If your both hands are engaged and your partner starts to advance forward, a lot of times you find yourself reclining back into a supine position, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but it should be something that you're trying to do, not something that you're doing because your partner is pushing into you. So once again, our partner comes forward, gets grips. We're going to strip our grip one. Our second hand is going to go here to our partner's collar, right on their collarbone, and then we place our hand behind us. You'll notice that we have a leg tucked underneath. This is going to be important for mobility. Now, your partner has two directions they can go. They can run towards the open side here, or they can run, so this is in front of you, or they can run to the more closed side to your back here. Most of the time, your partner will feel that if they go to run in this direction, they're walking into your attacks. And the prospect of back exposure is pretty appealing. So most of the time, what you're going to find is your partner running around behind you here, okay, and looking to get back exposure, forcing you to turn and adjust, and playing off of your reactions. So when we see that, we're going to use our stiff arm to prevent our partner from driving forward here and pinning our knees. We have a post hand and a stiff arm here, and as he goes to move, we're simply going to use our bottom leg to pivot and face our partner once again. So as he goes, we're moving our body with our partner. How do we do that? We tuck our second leg underneath, and as he walks around the corner, we pivot to face. So we plant a foot, we move that leg back, and we're working on facing our partner. Now, a word of warning about this extended arm. Come down, please. This extended arm here. You do have to be mindful that when you're seated and your arm is extended like this, that there is the risk of flying attacks, that your partner could jump to jujigatami, they could jump to the triangle. So you want to have kind of a little bit of caution when you're doing this and awareness of that. If we're here, ideally we would have our elbow and our knee connected. But the trouble is that this doesn't allow us to regulate distance very well. If he goes to drive into me here now, a lot of times this structure, which is good for avoiding flying attacks, is not so good for keeping our partner back. We do need a stiff arm here. Okay, so you're mindful about this. and not overly worried, but just kind of aware. So your partner is going to run around the corner. As your partner begins to cut the corner, you're planting your hand, you're planting your foot, and then you're simply turning to face your partner. If they're moving quickly, go ahead please, you'll often find that it's easier to heist up onto a knee so that you can then turn and face your partner. So this is the essence of this defensive guard retention tool. But as you know, we don't often like to just be defensive. We like to go onto the attack right away. So, as our partner goes to cut the corner, we have our grips. We're going to heist up onto our knee with our hand. We're going to sit down facing our partner, and immediately we're going to give a little pull here. That's going to bring our partner slightly closer to us. Then we're going to take our 2 feet and we're going to shoot them here into the double koichi position. Now we can simply drive, knock our partner down, and come up on top. So we're using this guard retention tool to keep our distance, to square back up to our partner, and then hit double koichi. So the sequence as a whole, your partner gets the grips, you're going to extend a leg, pull, break the grip, second hand comes in, cross grip, post the hand. Your partner slowly moves around the corner, so you're going to plant a hand, you're going to turn the corner, and heist up onto your knees. Now, you're going to sit back down facing your partner. You give a little pull to draw them forward and prompt a pull back. As you feel that pull back, the 2 feet go in. When they go in, toes point out. Okay, they're not pointing up. And you're making a firm connection here between your shoelaces and your partner's heels. As this happens, you give a little push on the collar here. You're going to set your partner down. As they go, tucking the bottom leg, rising up, you have a knee in the front, and you're ready to pass the guard. So in this way, we can use the concept of a cross grip and a stiff arm to keep our partner at bay. We move around our stiff arm frame, and then as our partner goes to cut the corner, we're able to posture, to readjust, heisting up, and quickly reverse, sitting down. We go from a position where our partner is driving into us to a position where they're pulling back a little bit. We take advantage of that, and we have a double koichi block. Okay, hopefully this was helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, let us know. You can like this video, and we will see you soon.